Hey guys, welcome to a Red Line Talk Show. I'm here today with Iliana and a special guest. Her name is Violetta Berisha, is an Albanian-American politician and the first female mayor of Fairview.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Violetta, we like to know more about you. You have a lot of records already, being the first female of Fairview as the mayor and also Albanian. So it's two records right there. We want to know a little bit about your journey and how you got to this point and your background.
Well, I got involved in politics about 7 years ago. I was brought on to the council in Fairview. People were like, "Oh, why don't you run? Why don't you run?" Being a single mom and the two kids were going through school, so you kind of get to know everybody. Well, I grew up in Fairview also. You get to know the community and what it's about. So you want to make a difference, get involved. Don't stand back and do nothing. So I got involved. And then 7 years later, they wanted me to run for mayor. Um, I was a little
So,
unsure,
so you were a
but
city council for 7 years?
seven
Oh
years.
wow,
Yeah.
okay. So that was pretty impressive as
Yeah.
well. We
Yeah.
didn't hear about you then. We
No,
only heard
no,
about you now.
no. It was, I kind of kept it quiet. It was, I didn't think, at first, I didn't realize how special it was. But then, once you start getting into the politics and start getting involved with the community and, you kind of get used to it and your voice comes out a little more.
Yeah.
So then I was asked to be a mayor, and I guess I agreed.
Did you know what you were signing up for, or
I didn't. It's actually not as bad as I thought it would be.
okay?
Not as of course, there's more responsibility and more interaction with the community, but I don't mind that.
We recently connected this past month and a half now, and have seen each other in multiple community events.
Mhm.
And what I've come to learn about Violetta Berisha is your humbleness and your sincerity. And I believe those are one of the main two traits, based on learning your story, of why the people of Fairview wanted you as the councilwoman and wanted you to elevate yourself to mayor. Can you talk about more about what are the characteristics and personal traits that really make a great leader?
Well, they like to come to somebody who is approachable,
Yeah.
somebody who they know is going to make a difference in the community, or at least try to help them make a difference. So if they can come up to you and talk to you and speak to you about whatever concerns they have, and they feel like, oh, well, maybe this is going to be our change. This is how we're going to be able to accomplish what we want in our community. It's just easier for them to come up to you. So I try to make that available for the community.
So let's break down a little bit about responsibilities as a mayor.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. Fairview is a town of how many people?
About 16,000.
Okay, that's fairly small,
Hmm.
very manageable.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, as the mayor, walk us through like your daily job. Like, what are you in charge of essentially?
Well, many things come across your table. The community, streets, the DPW, the police department, any concerns that they have. Um, the constituents will come up to you with like the craziest things sometime, like a handicap parking space,
Right.
or, they don't know where to go. But sometimes if they know you, they'll come, you're approachable, they'll come up to you and ask you, more questions about how do I go about this? Or like just the other day, somebody's like, oh, I don't know when they're coming to pick up the leaves on the street, like that they're
Yeah.
sleeping. I'm like, oh, well, hold on. I'm not really sure when they're starting that, but I'll make a phone call, and they could have done that too. But when they see you and they feel like, oh, well, I could talk to this person. Sometimes when you hear, oh, a mayor, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, where is the mayor? Like, how can we get in touch with the mayor? It's nice when they can approach you and ask you
What's nice
simple
is that you're a
questions.
mayor of a small town,
Yes.
which makes you more accessible, and you can
Yes.
probably make huge impacts for the immediate town. Talk to us about how do the people of Fairview, how do they, like, do you have set meetings with them
We
or?
have council meetings. So once a month we have a council meeting. We have 6 people on the council. Anybody can come to the meetings. We encourage people to come to meetings. They'll ask questions. But most of the time there's not that many people there. But they'll send emails or they'll call the office. Can I have a meeting with the mayor? And my mayor's job is part-time, but I'm accessible anytime. So the office will always call me and say, "Can you come in today? Somebody wants to meet with you." Or I'm like, "Sure." If I'm available, I'm there.
Do you
You
hold
know,
another position besides being mayor?
I don't hold another position for the town, but I work in the town as a bookkeeper for the school system there for the Board of Education.
Mhm.
So I'm accessible.
Very nice, very
So, what are
nice.
some of the infrastructure improvements of Fairfield that you have implemented or that you have in your plans to do?
Yeah, in Fairview, we're building a new school now.
Okay, very nice.
So
How
we
big is the school?
it's going to be sixth and seventh, well, junior high school.
Okay.
So it's pretty decently big. And we're always looking to build, with the community and the businesses
Is
in
that hard
town.
to get like permits to build?
It's not hard if it's zoned for that.
Right.
Otherwise you have to go through a zoning board and all
Do
that.
you
And
have, do you
sometimes
deal with that part of it, the
um,
zoning and all that?
I don't, as the mayor, you shouldn't deal with that
Oh,
kind of
okay.
stuff, but I do hear about it, and the zoning board, we have a zoning board, so they approve or disapprove of whatever is, going to be built or come into the town, the businesses, and.
So being a first female mayor in Fairview, and then actually there's from the Albanian community, you're actually the second
The
mayor,
second
correct? Who was
that I
the
know
who
of.
was the first?
I'm not sure of her name, but she was in Massachusetts. I would have loved to have contacted her, and that probably will come at some point. I'd like to find out about her journey, if it was anything like mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the
So
second
so
one.
far, as Eliana mentioned, now you became very famous, right, in the Albanian community,
Yeah.
as the first female Albanian mayor. Um, do you talk us through a little bit about that? I guess the fame that you received so far and the messaging that you
Well,
got from the community.
it was very strange to me. I mean, I was a councilwoman for 7 years, and I didn't expect everybody to be. I mean, they were happy. Like if I saw somebody and I said, "Oh, I'm a councilwoman," they'd be like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing. We never heard of you," or you know. But when I became the mayor, um, they heard more
Right.
about me, obviously, and all of a sudden Albania is calling and Kosovo is calling and
And
they
you had
want to
interviews with them
interview. And
too.
I was getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go on a Zoom call. And, I didn't know how, I really didn't. I mean, I was always very quiet,
Yeah.
always. And I'm still a little shy
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
quiet, but um, you had to actually come out of
You're
yourself
the
and
type that you quietly get all the work done.
I do. I do. I'm like the background, like I'll do everything I have to do, but I don't want to, share the spotlight
Yeah.
with
So
anybody.
how did you get into the spotlight?
Well, I just becoming the mayor, getting into on the council, and then it's kind of like you're forced into it. Not that you're forced into it, because nobody forces you, but it's like you have no choice now. Like this is when I was put on the council and when I went on to be a mayor, I had said, "Oh, I'm really not sure about this. I don't think I want to do this. There's just too much involved." And they're like, "Oh, well, just try it, see how you like it. You've been on the council for 7 years, so you should know
Yeah.
what you're
You
in
know already
for.
yeah,
You
you
know
know the
what you're in
people. Yeah,
for. You know the
exactly.
people. It's not going to be much different, except you're signing your name to a lot more, and you're speaking to more people." So I said, "Well, okay." I'm going to go into it and I'm going to give my whole heart to it. I'm not going to, say, oh, well, I'm not ready for this. I can't do this. I'm just going to do whatever, fall right in, jump
Is
in.
there an Albanian community in Fairfield?
There's some. I would say about maybe 150. It's not too
Oh,
big a
okay.
community there at
But the
all.
surrounding towns is a lot more
The surrounding
Albanians.
towns, Cliffside Park has a lot of
Right.
Albanians. Garfield, Clifton.
Did you receive support from them? when
Oh,
you-
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody that I came into contact were fully supportive. My family, like my distant relatives from New York, whatever you need, we're here for you, even, whatever, we don't care who you're affiliated with, we're here to help you. We're proud of you. And that means a lot. That, you can't let them down now,
Well, that's the thing I was going to ask you. Do
Yeah.
you feel a sense of pressure or responsibility now that you are the mayor of Fairview,
Very
but also you have the Albanian ethnic background and you have the Albanian community? Do you feel like a responsibility to them as well to be present to a lot of these events and to show support?
I do. I do feel like I need to be there for them. You can't possibly be at everything,
Right,
but
right, of course.
I feel like I feel good about them being proud of me. I feel good that they want to be, they're proud of me. So I don't want to let them down. I want to,
Yeah. Recently, you were at a women empowerment event where you were on the panel speaking with Amina Chamulai.
Yes.
Tell us about that experience.
I didn't realize how much of an impact I had on people, on females in general, in the Albanian community. And it changes you. You kind of feel good about yourself. They make you feel good. They really do. They make you feel like, wow, okay, I'm doing something, and they're happy for me. And a lot of people say, oh, some of the people you come in contact, there's a lot of, maybe jealousy, not jealousy, but I haven't experienced any negativity.
Negative. Okay. That's good.
I'm not going to say jealousy because politics is not for everybody. Everybody
Right.
has their thing. I didn't think politics were for me. And I didn't get into it wanting to be into politics as much as wanting to help the community.
Right.
Right.
So you
And
did
that
it for the
definitely
right
came
reasons.
across. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
At that event, you shared with the women that attended your experience about being a single mom, finding work, trying to provide food on the table for your children, and getting them everything that they need, educating them, getting them to school. But at the same time, making sure like your career was progressing, and how later in life, that's when you went into the council, into mayor,
Right.
and you gave a lot of hope to the women in that room that any time is the right time to start
Right.
something.
Right.
So that message definitely came across, and I thank you for that, because after the panel discussions, I was just there listening to women speaking to each other, and you have inspired a lot of people at that event.
Were you inspired?
I was inspired.
I'm very
Wanna run for
happy.
president?
I'm happy that I came across that way because, everybody just, I feel, you're there for the public. You're there to help them. If you can inspire somebody, and like when I think back of, whatever I went through, and I'm like, I inspired somebody? Like, that's so strange to me, but I'm glad I could.
And your humbleness was so cute. I was a single mom, and then I became mayor. Okay.
Yeah,
You
one
skipped
day
a
I was
whole lot
just,
of,
one day
information.
I'm just, working and doing a regular job, and then the next day you wake up and and I think I mentioned, I felt like, oh my God, like an overnight success. I'm glad that wore off. Like, that first month, you kind of, oh my God, like, what is that? Why are they calling me? Like, how much, I don't want to do that. I didn't even want to answer the phone anymore because I just felt like, in the Albanian community, you have to show, you have to speak the language. And I just felt like, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. Like, I do speak fluent Albanian. But and I would tell them, it was funny because while I was doing interviews, I would say, I don't know how to speak Albanian. So I would do some of the interviews in English.
English, yeah.
And they would have translators. And then when they were asking me stuff in Albanian, I would answer in Albanian, but not in their dialect. And they were like, wait a second, you're speaking Albanian. I'm like, yeah,
but it's
do
different
speak,
dialect.
but it's different. And I don't want to sound
Yeah.
like, like I don't know what I'm talking
But
about.
also, you came to this country when you were 3 months old. So,
So I was
at that time, we didn't have the school like they do now, like the schools to
Right.
formally learn the language
Right.
to be grammatically correct and
Right.
everything.
Well,
so
let's take a step back. So you were born in Italy,
Yes.
right? So you came here when you were 3 months old,
Yeah.
right? And your parents are from where?
My dad was from Puka,
From Puk? Okay.
and my mom is from Tuze.
Tuzi.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Do you go back to Albania?
I haven't.
Oh,
I
my
haven't.
oh, we have to
I've
go
never
together.
never been to Albania. I went to Montenegro, Tuze, Sukruch, where my mom's from, when I was, I think, 7 or 8, and I haven't been back.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's
You
gonna
are
be your next
missing
trip.
a lot.
I know.
You're missing a lot.
The other night when they were saying, oh, they send all the what was that? Gosh, the name of the event.
Original?
Original, yeah. I said, oh, I should joke and say, oh, I've never been. Why don't you send me? And I said, oh my God, I better not say that because they're going to send me.
No, somebody did say that. Like, we need to have like
Yeah.
an
Senior.
organization.
We're gonna have the
senior.
senior group.
Yeah, senior group. Yeah.
Okay, so you're the first one on that one.
I'm the first one on that list.
No, it's definitely. I mean, if you've never been, you're gonna be shocked how beautiful the country is.
Yeah.
The whole area.
That means
from
your
north to
children haven't
south.
gone either.
No.
Oh, they have to go with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But so going back to the current title now, the mayor, right? And that term is for what, 4 years?
4 years.
Tell us a little bit about your long-term plan. Do you feel like you're gonna stay in the same position, or you want to see if you can move up more to a different level of politics?
I'm not sure about that right now. I didn't think I'd be on the council. I didn't think I'd be mayor. So you never know
Yeah.
where you're going. I'm not sure.
Looking ahead, what are your goals for Fairview as you just recently became mayor of the
Mhm.
town? Tell us a little bit about some of the goals that you have in place.
Infrastructure.
Mhm.
Building the community up a little more. The businesses and keeping the streets safe. That's what pretty much every mayor has that same goal for their town. They want to make it a better place to live, a better place for you to raise your family. I live there, so I want it to be the best place it could possibly be. I want to, things have changed a lot.
In what
Not
sense?
not for the worst or anything. The community demographics,
Okay.
but you still want to make it a good place to live, safe, and it is a safe town.
Is it
It's
a
small-
growing community?
It's a growing community, of
Okay.
course. There's more people every day. Just like everywhere, it gets very congested.
Right.
They're building buildings, all the time. The schools are getting overpopulated. We're building a new school. So, you just want to make it a great place to live and people wanting to come there. You want more people to
How do you
come and see.
attract as a mayor? Is that part of your job too, to attract investors or businesses to open up businesses and I guess, promote the town?
I
Do
guess
you deal with any of that or?
I don't know yet. I don't know how that would work. If there's places available that people want to build, they'll
Yeah.
come into the town. Right now, it's there's places to build and
Have you had
to
any
grow.
have you had any significant challenges that you were facing the first year working as mayor or not yet?
Not yet. Oh, thank
Let's-
God.
let's hope
not.
Let's hope not. Yeah, no. The first time, who knows? But so far, so good.
Very good, very good.
In what ways, I guess, so tell us a little bit about, I know that you mentioned that you have a family and you're
Mhm.
dedicated to that. What are some of your hobbies besides public work?
Um, I like creative stuff. So I like planning, uh, party planning. I like doing that.
Okay.
That's kind of my thing. If I always said if I didn't have to have a job, 9 to 5 job where you have your insurance and you have your, a steady paycheck and stuff, that's what I would have done all my life. Like I always said that. I like the creative side of things. I like interior design. I like to, you just like to see.
I mean, you can do that now. You can
No, yeah, you
create
do
events
that.
as a
Yeah,
mayor,
yeah,
and
absolutely. It's not very easy to fit that into your schedule,
yeah.
but it is something that I enjoy.
And as a proud mother of two, I know you have
Uh-huh.
a son and a daughter,
Yes,
and you also are a grandmother
I
of
am a
two as
grandmother
well.
of two, a boy and a girl,
Oh, very
Victoria and Giovanni.
some beautiful names.
Yes.
How do you see your family dynamics influence your leadership style? Do you see that there's some form of like similarities between how you run your family versus how you're running your, the town?
Um, I do. I do. I think of my town as mine, like
Like
so
your
you want
extended family?
yes, exactly. So you want to take care of them. You want to like you want to clean them up just like like you're cleaning your house or you're taking care of your kids. You want to take care of your community. And that's exactly how I feel for my town too. Yeah.
Very
I
What
never thought of that in that sense, but it's true.
What do you hope your legacy will be as the first female mayor of Fairview?
Um, I really hope they look back and say, "Oh, she was a really good mayor." If the previous mayor who was there, Vincent Bellucci, he was there for 28 years.
Oh wow.
I don't see myself staying there for that long at all. Not even, I don't even know if it'll be half. You never know what comes into play, but I would love them to say, "Wow, she was a great mayor," of
And
the
the
town.
previous mayor, he was the one who endorsed you
He
and kind of
did.
went to you and said,
Yeah.
you need to run for mayor."
Yeah, yeah, he
How
did. He
how
kept
did that make you feel?
it makes you feel good about yourself, of course, It makes you feel like somebody likes you. He would say, "Oh, I want you to become the next mayor. I want you to, be there. I want you to be if anybody's going to take my spot, I would love it if it's you." And that's such an honor, because I didn't you don't see yourself like that. You do feel like, "Okay, I could do this." Every step you take, you can kinda get used to doing, what you're there for, but I never thought I would be mayor. I didn't.
Have you seen? I know you mentioned this a little bit earlier. Have you seen a big dynamic change in your town as far as communities are evolving,
Yeah.
meaning different
Oh,
backgrounds?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We had a big, Italian, Croatian, and they're still there, but now we have more of the, Hispanics and, um,
Albanians, you have that too.
Albanians,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, when we first moved there was no Albanians. We had another family. That's how we ended up in New Jersey because I was
Yeah.
from Brooklyn, and they had told us, "Oh, why don't you, come?" Well, told my father, "Why don't you come and look? There's a house for sale by us," and we moved in. But like some of the students that I heard the other night were saying, you go to a town and people don't even know who Albanian is. They're like, "You're what? Like, what is that?"
Armenian?
Right, Armenian.
Romanian?
Exactly. They have no idea. And then all of a sudden, now they're like, "Oh, you're Albanian? Oh, how?"
Yeah.
Which changed. So,
Now
which is
everyone's best
great.
friend is Albanian or their
Yes.
neighbor
"Oh,
or
I know
their
somebody who's Albanian. Oh, I know this person." And then we think that we know every single, I mean, even we think we know every single Albanian there is. "Oh, what's their name?"
Yes. I
It's,
do that all the time. I
yeah,
think I know everyone.
right, right. But
um,
even the Albanian community
no, it's
has
growing.
evolved
Yeah.
so much. Yeah.
Are there any initiatives that promote kind of that community diversity in your town?
Um,
Meaning, like, for example, festivals or parades or anything that can promote another community identity, I guess.
Well, I mean, we have gatherings all the time, like a Memorial Day parade, parade, gathering. Parades, not so much, but we have the festivals and, um,
Like if you did
the
like
Christmas tree lighting.
I was joking earlier and I was like, "Are you like the mayor of a small town like in the Hallmark movies?" She's like, "Yes." I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
Who has been a significant influence in your life and how have they shaped your values and aspirations?
Um, I would say my children. My children have been, seeing them succeed in school, in life. Thank God that, they haven't strayed like some people do. Um, that was a big, plus for me.
So they were like your motivator
They were my motivator.
when they were younger and now that
Yeah.
you was
And they were always like cheering me
yeah.
on, oh, you could do this, Ma. Oh,
Now
don't
you're
worry. Oh, yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
that's wonderful.
My family, they were always there for me. If it wasn't for them, I don't know,
So, seeing how the Albanian community welcomed you in, right, as the mayor, how do you envision your involvement in the community, in the Albanian-American community, now that you have, title of a mayor of a small town? Regardless, you still have a title, you have a presence.
right.
Has there
Um,
been any specific initiatives that you were exposed to? Like, wow, I could definitely get more involved in this. Maybe not now because you're
well,
a
I'm kind
business.
of taking my steps towards that. I have been, invited to so many different organizations, so many different groups,
Yeah.
and you know, I go into it thinking, like, let's see what this is about. I don't know how far I will get with the Albanian community, or, of course I want to. I want to see what it's about. But um, m- I mean, up until like this year, I haven't really been involved so much. So it's kind of hard to
So you're
say, okay.
exploring right now for the moment.
Exactly,
That's good.
exactly. I couldn't
It's good
find
to
the right
explore
words
before
to
you
say,
commit
but
to
But think
anything.
about it. When she was working, first you were working in the corporate world,
Yeah, uh-huh.
corporate AMP, and
Yes.
then you naturally just right place, right time, ended up
Right,
working
Public
at the
service.
public school, yeah, at the
right,
public school system, and then became councilwoman, and then naturally, all of a sudden, you became you
right,
became mayor. Maybe this something else will evolve just
right.
naturally.
You right, exactly. You never know what life has in store for you,
I mean, there's a lot of
I mean,
organizations.
as a mayor of Fairview, I mean, with the title, of course, you can do a lot for the community, for the Albanian community, and I would love to do that. I don't know, what Fairview's mayor can do for anybody, but
No,
that's
no,
just
it's not.
kind of saying,
It's more of using your presence than your
yes,
title than anything. It's not.
right, right,
It's symbolic.
right.
To me, it's more of symbolic.
It makes you feel good knowing that, oh wow, they think they think I am,
They think I can change the world.
yeah, yeah.
What I said earlier, she's very humble.
Whatever I can do, like I'm there. Like
Well, I mean,
I
look,
would love to
I
be
think you
there.
already done your part. You broke that ceiling where you became the first female and Albanian, and you probably a role model to a lot of young girls, or maybe you want to get to
Yeah.
your level one day. So you already have that going for you. I think you have the potential to go even further, to maybe be part of a cause in the Albanian community
Right.
that's it's dear to us. You can support other organizations that have a mission or
Mm-hmm.
another cause that you really believe in. So you do have the power to endorse
Right.
a lot of those
Absolutely.
initiatives, right?
Right.
So
Right.
I think it's important for you to be out there,
Mm-hmm.
build those relationships with a lot of these organizations and the community as a whole.
Right.
And I think, as you know, as you have seen so far, that we are very big supporters of anyone who's in that political stage.
Right. Yes, for
Um,
sure.
Albanians love
For sure.
politics.
yes,
Right.
and I think it doesn't matter what party you belong to, as long as you are up to that level.
That's exactly what I found too.
Yeah.
Like my own family, or, even people that I didn't know would come up to me and say, "Oh, I was at your swearing in when you became the mayor," and I was like, "I don't even know you," but it's so amazing to
I mean, when you
me.
have the name Violetta Berisha, you're gonna come.
When it was so amazing to me that they were like, I was there. There was a lot of people there, and I didn't know half of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's really. I'm honored. I'm really honored.
And they didn't care that you were a Democrat.
No, no, no.
She's like, no.
No, not at all.
You had
I've had
Republicans supporting the
yeah,
Democrat.
I've had my, people say, "Oh, you're the only Democrat I'm supporting." I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
So speaking of that, though, a little bit. So it's election year this year. What is
Mhm.
your, I guess, stance in the political system in America? And how do you see
Um,
that from your point of view?
um, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. Like I always say, may the best man win. Whoever's
Or woman.
or woman,
Yeah.
or woman. You know, um, you want what's good for the people. On a local level, it's easier to
To
you don't
manage.
have to be a Republican or a Democrat on your local level. Well, you do, but I'm saying as far as helping the people, you can help everybody,
Right.
no matter what they are.
Right.
In the in a national level, it's it's a little harder. It's a little harder to kind of decide on who I'm helping now.
Yes.
So Violetta, looking back on your journey, what are some of the lessons that you learned that you think are important for other people to hear?
Um, it's never too late to accomplish what you want to accomplish. I started in politics later in life, and um, I'm pretty much, look what I have done. So for anybody, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, whether you're Albanian, whether you're whatever it is that you are, it's never too late to follow your heart. And it's always important to just know that your community, most of the time, from what I have seen, are there to support you.
Yeah.
Your family is there to support you. There's always somebody to help you, guide you, and I know that I've learned that in my family. My brother-in-law, my sisters, my mom, my brother, everybody that my kids.
And now the whole community.
And now the whole
Not only
community.
Fairview, but also the Albanian
Albanian
But
community.
also
community.
courage too, right? So
Yeah.
there's a courage component to it that you have to take that
Yeah.
step and not be afraid.
Right. Absolutely.
It's never
to-
too late.
To dive
never
into
too
the
late.
abyss.
Exactly. Exactly.
To me, I feel like that's life. I feel like any initiative you take as a person, you should not be afraid if you
Right.
take that initiative.
Right.
And whether it leads you, it's a different story. The path, we can talk about that.
Right.
But
Which way it goes.
which way it goes. But I feel like having that courage to be out there, to be in the public eye,
Mhm.
it does take, it's not easy. Not a lot of
Right.
people can do it because you are
Right.
in the spotlight.
Right.
People tend to listen to you more, right? Your words have meaning, then have a responsibility. So you have to
Right,
be careful what
absolutely.
you say and what you don't say. So it's not as glamorous as
No,
it sounds,
no, it's
right? We're
true.
making it very glamorous, but it's not.
It's true.
So I do applaud you for taking that step, being in the public eye. I hope that you go further than
Oh,
this,
thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Maybe Congress or Senate.
But I like her style, though. Her style is, I'm going to give my all for what I'm doing now, and where
Right.
the path leads,
Oh,
it
of
will
course.
naturally come. And
Yeah.
it has naturally
Exactly.
come for you.
Of course.
Exactly.
And again, this
And
is
yet you have that belief,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I applaud you in your style, too. It's very comforting and relaxing. Makes me
Thank
feel
you.
good.
and this is
Thank
the
you.
first year,
Thank
right?
you.
Of the
This is my
for your
first year.
job. Okay.
Yeah,
She got
January. I
Three more
was-
years to go, and then she's going to read.
So yeah, people are gonna measure your success or
Yeah.
failure. So
Yeah.
you have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that's true.
No
That's
pressure
true.
there.
No,
No
but it's
pressure
true.
whatsoever.
You never know. You never know.
I guess from the Albanian community, you're always going to have that support no matter what.
And I
right?
have. I
Yeah.
have.
And I think you've seen that so far.
Yeah.
I
And
think it's going to continue to grow too.
Of course.
We're becoming
Of
more and
course.
more united
Right.
and supporting each other, which I think is amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I do, like I said, I do feel that you have an opportunity to do a lot of great things and big things just because of the position that you're in.
Right.
So I hope that you continue in that.
Thank you.
You have our
appreciate it.
support.
We will
Thank you.
definitely,
Thank you.
support you. And anytime you want to come back on the show, if you have a project or initiative that you want to talk about and you want to let the community know, please.
Oh, thank you.
can
I
always
appreciate that
come
very
back.
much. Thank you.
It
It was
was
an
a
honor to be here.
thank you. It was a pleasure to talk to you and learn more about you and your background.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you in future events.
Yes. Thank
I'll
you.
see you soon.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.